Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy Empowered Tuesday. We don't have to just feel empowered on Wednesdays, right? So it's really about that mindset and feeling empowered whenever we choose, whenever we decide. And today I have an honor to speaking with one of our clients, Jackie, about the power of light and the sun, and how when we introduce more light into our life, we can heal, and that could be part of our morning routine and bettering our health. So I am going to let Jackie in. Hello, everyone who's joining us right now. I have Jackie here. I am letting her in. Talk about the magic of light and bringing that into our life and feeling empowered with, few little shifts. And hello, Jackie.
Hi,
So
everybody.
nice to see you. So nice to see you. I was just introducing that, it's those little shifts when we introduce to our life that has tremendous impact on our life and how we show up and how our health is, and then how we are, as not only human beings, but how we show up as the partner or the wife, the mother, right, the business owner. So those little things that we do, and we always have that choice to do that. So my intention for today and with the conversation with Jackie is that you are going to introduce something new, something completely life-changing that I know it changed my life and my family's life, our health and how we show up every day. Something that I always knew, but we're humans and you forget. And then I started to dig into more, and then I rediscovered Jackie. I was listening to some podcast. I don't even know. Then I attended her amazing light webinar, and everything else is history. So, Jackie, thank you so much for being here with me today. And I wanted the rest of the world meet you and know more about light and the magic behind the light, and also what you do. And I know you have some amazing news. So we're going to talk about all of this today.
We're going to do all the things. Yes, Isabella, thank you so much for having me on. Hi to everybody that's joined so far. Thank you for being here and giving us your time. We won't try to take up too much of it, as we know that humans are very, very busy nowadays. But, when we talk about the word light, a lot of times, especially since I've been doing this for quite some time now, humans just go, well, light, what do you mean? Light bulbs, or like a light from my headlamp, or like the spiritual light? Like, what are we talking about when we're talking about light? And actually, we're talking about all of those things, because really, when you actually break down quantum biology or human mammal physiology, we're actually all broken down to molecules that contain light. So we are literally just one big walking, talking, complicated solar panel, basically.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? That means that we can absorb and we can also emit light, like physical photons of light. You'll have to excuse me. I have a cough drop in my mouth while I'm chatting, because the weather has been insane here in Louisiana, and they're spraying the skies and all the things. So I don't know. I've got a scratchy throat today. Anyways, so I have a cough drop in my throat, guys. Sorry. So when we do talk about light, we forget that sometimes in our modern world, that human beings, modern human beings, are spending over 98% of their time indoors. Let's just think about like a modern human being's day, right? We wake up in the morning, we're either scrolling through our phone first thing, huge no-no, or we've got lights on in the house, we're getting kids ready for school, we're getting ready for work, we're inside a building, our home, right, under artificial lights, which is our LEDs, fluorescent light bulbs. Maybe somebody somewhere has a fire or candle light on, right? And then we go straight from the building of our house into a car with windows and sunroof closed, with some type of air controlled temperature, whether it's summer or winter. We've got it at like a nice balmy 68, 70, 72 degrees, right? very comfortable. And then we get into our workplace, which is usually for most people indoors. Underneath, artificial light as well. So LEDs, fluorescence, and then you have a computer screen in front of you that's an artificial blue light. We'll get to all of that if we can today. We spend 6 or 8 hours there indoors the whole time. And then what do we do when we're finished with work? Well, we get back into the car with windows closed up, pick up the kids from school, pick up dinner, pick up food, whatever, come back to the house, back in a building under artificial light. And then it gets dark outside and we still keep lights on in our house through the night. And then we usually have some type of tech screen in front of us. Maybe it's a computer again, our cell phones, the TV. All of our tech screens, along with our LEDs and fluorescent light bulbs, emit only a blue wavelength, which is really artificial to our eyes by itself, and especially at night. So to kind of tie this in a little scientifically, because I wanted to just put that right out there, like that is our modern life. And humans, what that means is we're living a very unsynced connection to nature and to our natural circadian rhythms. And circadian rhythms are just starting to come around in like naturopath, holistic, and nature type of medicine. There is plenty of scientific research and articles out there. You can find it. It won't be on your nightly news, but it is out there. And it will tell you about your natural rhythms that we're supposed to live by. So although most of us humans have forgot, we're actually mammals. Like we belong to the mammalian kingdom. And if you look at your dogs, lions, horses, any other wild animals, where are they when the sun's out during the day? They're outside underneath the sun, basking in the rays from the sun. So when we went to grade school and we learned about the rainbow and all the colors of the rainbow, those specific colors and wavelengths send our bodies, plants, trees, dogs, lions, all living things on this planet, those colors send messages in the photons to our body and our eyes. Your eyes and your skin are the biggest photoreceptors for the sun. So you're a big, just walking, talking solar panel, like I mentioned, right? That was back in the day when we used to live, breathe, eat, reproduce, build things outside 24/7. And again, in the beginning of this conversation, but all of us are staying inside now and in comfortable temperatures and under artificial light. The artificial light that we have, tech screens, LEDs, fluorescence, they only emit a blue wavelength out of that rainbow, all the colors, right? When we're outside in nature, blue is not necessarily bad, but we never have blue by itself. When the blue comes out in the middle of the day, like what I'm under right now in Louisiana, it's the UV light. But when you have your blue light, you're also surrounded by all the other colors of the rainbow. Remember Roy G. Biv? I think that's what you guys learned in Canada as well. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So you have all of those colors at one time. That's what's natural for our body to be able to run hormones, estrogen, our adrenaline, our serotonin and tryptophan and dopamine to make us feel good and want to do stuff in life. We get all those messages actually from the sun. We don't need coffee, antidepressants, supplements, uppers, downers. Like we start messing with all of that chemically, and we can really mess our bodies up when the sun can just do it for us naturally when we get back into those cycles with nature. So that's kind of just like a brief synopsis. I know I didn't actually even go into my story. I'm so excited. I always like to share the information on light and what's going on with modern human beings.
You're bringing awareness, right? Because we are caught up in this circle of things and we never pause and think to ourselves, hey, just because we've been doing it for years and everybody else been doing it, is this actually right? Because when I attended your webinar, honestly, right now, every second I have in the morning, I step outside. Even my kids are now screaming, "Mommy, the sun is coming out!" You know, put your face into the sun, right? Even if it's a little bit, even for a few minutes. So, and thanks to you, I'm trying to. And you know, not every day is perfect. But it's that awareness. So because I never knew any. I mean, right, we know some of it, but we're not mindful enough, and we don't bring that awareness level to the surface. And once we realize, and I hope everyone that's watching right now can pause and think, holy crap, right? I start my day with the phone. Please don't, like Jackie said, that's a big no. It's just not just from the sun, but the whole mindset, right? But once we realize, that's when that clarity gives us now the confidence to take the right next step. So continue, Jackie.
Well, I like the points that you brought up, because of course, most of us human beings, we don't even think about light anymore, because we're living in such a modern world where phones are normal, the fluorescent lights are normal. That's what I was raised in as a kid in school and college.
We normalize the unhealthy way of
right, because they're not going to tell us that the artificial light is negative, although they'll tell us that the sun is dangerous. And if you actually sit down and think about it and go, but every living thing outside grows and thrives and becomes alive because of the sun, right? But even in that same sentence, which I didn't get to yet, we are diurnal mammals. So most mammals, and really even plants, I don't think they're considered diurnal, but we also have a 24-hour cycle of light and dark. So even though most people will get on my page and when they start following me, they're like, oh, you're the sun girl, I'm going to get out in the sun. Look at me, I'm out in the sun all day long. Yeah, that's great. And I do want you to do that, especially sunrise. We'll get there. Sunrise is number one.
Number one.
But you equally need darkness at night to also heal and get your circadian rhythms running efficiently. So modern human beings are deficient in really bright light that's the natural spectrum of the sun, all of the colors. There's no light bulb that comes even close enough to being as bright or powerful or full spectrum as the sun. You cannot replace the sun. And then we're also very, very deficient in darkness, right? We put all kinds of lights on at night, even if it's a little bit of a dimmer or whatever. We are supposed to be in complete darkness for almost 2 hours before your melatonin is even going to kick in to make you sleepy, to tell your body to start running all of your regenerative programs like apoptosis and autophagy. What are those? Those are your innate healing properties in your body. I call it the dishwasher, to get rid of toxic cells and kill cancer cells, right? And if we go back to your point of saying, well, this is what we've always done for years and years and years, not really. If we sit down and actually think about history of light and electricity and pharmaceuticals, those have only been around for 150 years.
Right.
How long have humans been around?
Right.
A millennia, right? At least that we know of. And so actually it's not the natural medicine and the holistic medicine that are the alternatives. The pharmaceutical medicine is the alternatives. The electricity is the alternatives, right? What's normal is the 12-hour light and dark cycle that we were born and raised, and what our DNA and genetics are used to and what it needs to thrive. And now if we look at the modern human being doing what it's always done over the last 100 to 150 years, are we doing well or are we degressing? Because I see increases of cancer, autoimmune disease, eye issues and eye degeneration, cognitive degeneration, and at younger and younger and younger ages. So we are creating dysfunction in our circadian rhythms, which is causing dysfunction in our cells, which is causing certain genes to turn on or turn off and malfunction. And then the doctor gets to tell you, you just got bad genes. Sorry, bad luck for you. That's not the case. We've just stepped so far away from our natural rhythms of healing because our body has an innate healing system. You were born with it. We evolved and adapted with it. We've just gotten so far away from it now because we've just been doing the normal thing of modern human beings, right? No judgment on this side. Just
it is what it is.
And observation. And so all we have to do, because the body always wants to heal, is we just have to get back to those natural syncs and rhythms. And that's what my mission is to just bring that awareness and try to teach people. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm not here to convince and put a gun to somebody's head and tell them they have to do something. I just want to make sure that every human being has the full conformed consent to then make whatever decision they want to make. If they still want to stay inside and stay on the tech screens, by all means, that's up to you. But we're not being told this information, and it's actually been hidden and taken away from us in some aspects because they tell us that the sun's dangerous when it's not. It's one of the best things you could ever do for yourself. In my own personal story of how I came about this, so in case anybody that's on here and is like, who is this Jackie Jolie chick?
Well, she's amazing.
What is all this stuff that she's saying? I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse by any means. I will always put up that caveat. However, I got Lyme disease 5 years ago. And because of my day job of working with horses and being more on a holistic mindset already when that occurred. I didn't want to go down the natural allopathic path of taking a bunch of antibiotics to try to heal a bacteria that we've actually lived around. Like they have found the Borgdorf bacteria from Lyme in cavemen, buried in ice from like thousands of years
Oh, wow.
ago.
I had
So
no
we have been
idea.
around bacteria and viruses and
Mm.
germs. That's what we came
Yeah.
from. When I talk about mitochondria in the cell, our powerhouse of the cell that creates our energy, our sleep, and our heat, they are bacteria. We have 1 trillion at least bacteria that are running our body, and they respond to the outside environment, or well, they respond to their environment.
Mm-hmm.
And so is our environment artificial with artificial light and Wi-Fi and cell phone radiation, or is it in a natural spectrum of all of the light from the sun, darkness at night, and trying to shield yourself away from smart devices, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, things like that, because they also have a physiological effect on our bodies that's not very good and positive.
Mm-hmm.
So my story was I was able to heal Lyme through using herbal tinctures and going a natural path instead of antibiotics. But a good friend of mine turned me on to Dr. Jack Kruse's work, and I will always give him credit, Kruse. He's a neurosurgeon. He's been teaching about quantum life and light since like almost 20 years ago, fighting the regular allopathy, and trying to train and teach people as much as possible about light really truly healing and the foundation of your health. And so I just dug deep, and I was like, okay, trying this new light life is free, basically. Like I don't have to buy anything. I'd already been spending thousands on supplements and vitamins and all the things. So I gave it a shot, and we're 4 years down the road. My Lyme disease has never come back. I've even gotten bit by other ticks, and I've never gotten Lyme disease. All of my sexual hormones, regular hormones, thyroid, all those things that were on the floor after Lyme disease have only come through the roof. I'm about to be 40 this year. I have more energy, vitality, libido, all of those things more than I even did at 25. And
Amazing.
It's a real thing. And so I just want to be here to spread that message. I did get certified in quantum health, so I did get a lot of the science in the background now. So that gives me a little bit of accolades, I suppose. But it's really just living proof. You know, this is innate in our DNA. And once people hear the message, as I'm sure that you did, it hits you in your gut. You know that it's the truth, the light, the way. And so that's kind of how I came around to being able to share this information with everybody.
Amazing. Thank you, Jackie. And what would you say for everyone that is listening? Because I know they follow this account, my account, for business tips, as I'm a business coach and also a life coach. So for empowerment, bringing that better balance to life, not doing everything at all costs, but really aligning with your heart, your soul, living your purpose in an empowering way. And often people in the stories every day, they see me, whether by the water or in the forest, right? Doing my meditation and being in the sun when the sun, in Canada, here in Ontario, we've been with gray skies, but we really try our best to bring more light. So what would you say are maybe 3 easy, right? We need to make it easy, and it's always about the progress and allowing yourself grace. You're not going to completely change overnight. So we try to implement those easy things into our routine so we can just be that 1% better. So what would be those 3 things, Jackie?
Okay. And you're talking to somebody that's like trying to run 2 businesses right now, has 2 dogs, a house to take care of. Like I am your typical type A, like go person, right?
You're my kind of girl.
Important. So yes, and actually I have to say it's the one speed bump that I'll notice. I've been teaching about light now for almost 4 years. And so with our modern human life as well, sometimes when you come to somebody and you're like, but this is free and it's actually really simple and basic to actually get healthy, you almost get a block and a resistance, because we've now lived in this society and environment where you have to have the gym for 2 hours every single day and 10 supplements and 10 vitamins, and it's got to be this like really rigid protocol. That's exhausting and expensive, and so let's not do that anymore. You can get it all from nature. So the top 3 things that I would definitely say, because you don't want to get super type A and perfectionist about this, right? It's baby steps. The nice thing about getting a positive light life, though, since it is in your natural innate place of your body to heal like this, it will happen pretty quickly, to be honest. If you have a diagnosis of some sort, it is going to take you a little longer and you're going to need more light, and you can follow me or contact me to get more information on that. But in general, for just getting that 1% better and starting to feel better for a positive light life, the number one is sunrise, sunrise, sunrise. So the sunrise, or within an hour of sunrise, for all of you right now that are like, I'm a night owl, I hate the morning, yada, yada, yada.
Get over it, people. Right?
You're not a night owl. It's not
yes.
a natural thing. We're not owls. We're not mice. We are diurnal animals of a 12-hour light and 12-hour dark cycle. So sunrise is the most important thing for two reasons. Number one, at sunrise, you only have red and infrared light wavelengths. So in that rainbow, you only have the red and orange wavelengths, which are really healing. Your eyesight can heal. You can get rid of them glasses and contacts, right? Avoid surgery on your eyes. It will help you build up a solar callus for the summer and the fall times when the UV is much stronger later in the day. It will help hydrate your tissues. It will turn on your mitochondria, which are your powerhouses in your cells. And then the main thing about the sunrise, the wavelengths that come through at that time is going to tell your body that it's morning, right? So it's that circadian clock, and that's really the most important thing. We want our clocks running efficiently and on time, right? Just like a watch or anything in your house, you want it on time and working well. So if we want function in our body and everything to run correctly, we have to start with telling it, hey, it's morning time, right? Sunrise hitting your eyes and your skin. So what does that mean? No sunglasses, no contacts, no sunscreen, and as little bit of clothing as you can possibly do at the time of year and the neighborhood that you live in, okay? Because we're one big solar panel. And so you need to get those messages into your eyes and into the skin to tell it that it's morning. 15, 20 minutes is ideal. If you can spend longer, great. If you're sick, you will need more. In a place like Canada in the winter, there's probably some days that like it's cloudy and overcast or it's below 20. Just opening up your windows. Light is strong enough that it's going to come through the window and hit your eyes, and just, you know, in front of the sink doing the dishes or cooking breakfast or whatever
even
you can.
on the cloudy day, right? Even on the cloudy day.
Yes, on cloudy days, you're still getting that red and infrared light through the clouds.
Yeah.
Same with here in Louisiana when we have rain. And it's also still the same signal to tell your body, hey, it's morning. It's the rooster crowing. It's telling your body like, hey, we're going to slowly start to creep up cortisol and blood sugar and adrenaline and your sexual hormones and everything that you can the day and not be so stressed out struggling naturally. Not 2 cups of coffee on an empty stomach and just like rushing up your blood sugar and cortisol and adrenaline like crazy, right? That causes dysfunction. So sunrise is always the most important over anything else.
Okay.
And then number 2 is still going to be, I need you to take light breaks through the day. So your eyes and your skin need to get the rest of the messages of all the other colors of the rainbow from the sun. So if you work in an office, just like somebody takes a smoke break, you're going to take a sun break, okay? And you're going to try to get those smokers outside to also take a sun break. And when you go outside, okay, 10, 15 minutes, every hour to hour and a half, when you're at your computer, get up, go outside for 10 or 15 minutes, take your shoes off if you can, no sunglasses, no contacts, no sunscreen, as little bit of clothing as possible, right? If you're at work, roll up your sleeves, roll up your pant legs, whatever you can do to get as much sun exposure on your body to get those messages throughout the whole day. Again, it's
and I started putting, actually, sorry, Jackie, I started putting, some people are saying, oh, sometimes I get, you know, we're humans and we forget. Well, this is why we put reminders in. I put in my little reminders to remind me to take a sun break.
No doubt. Yeah, put it on your phone, and that's where you just start, right? Because that's how little habits start. If you need your phone or meet a friend at the office and hold each other accountable, go take your sun breaks, you know, and we need that social interaction as well for energy and love. I think we all realize that
all
in the
need
last
that
3 years of what we've gone through, okay? At sunset, it's also going to be the same thing. You're only going to get the red, orange, and yellow wavelengths, which are reparative, and also to tell your body, hey, it's going to be dark soon. So we're going to start bringing down the blood sugar, the cortisol, the adrenaline, to start getting into those rest and digest moments and not be so tired but wired, right? So when we get to sunset, then you're going to come inside your house and do whatever you're doing for the nighttime. So the third rule is you got to start making your nights dark. It doesn't mean that you have to start walking around your house in the dark, but in a way, yes. So lights that will not bother your circadian rhythms are red and orange. So you can get a red light panel. You can get party bulbs that are red, super cheap. Candlelight, fire, right? I have a headlamp that has a red light option on it. I have red light night lights in my bathroom and hallway. Okay. And then just remember, as you start to go down, incandescent light bulbs, which in the United States they just made illegal in August. So get your lights now while you can. Those are the ones that are not going to break your circadian rhythms, and that's a really great start. But just remember, you really want to start bringing that down closer and closer to bedtime, and trying the best you can to get off of tech devices an hour or two before bedtime as well, so that it's not keeping your body tired but wired and breaking your circadian rhythms. So you want red or orange wavelengths. You eventually want to get to darkness at night. And for your tech screens, you need to get blue blocking glasses. The lenses have to be red or orange. The ones that are clear are bullshit. They do not work. Don't buy those.
Okay.
You need to get Iris on the laptop, which is a one-time $40 charge. It will gradually change your screen to red at night so that it's not bothering your eyes. And then all of the smartphones have a shortcut. You can go to YouTube and just look up shortcut to turn my screen red for iPhone 10, Android 11, whatever your phone is. And it will show you a shortcut to change your screen on your phone to red, which will not break your circadian rhythms either. And that's free. So for me, my phone is like almost always on red, except for like right now during the day, it's okay to have blue light, and I'm on an interview, so I have to be able to see. With a red screen, yeah, it's going to be a little more difficult to see things, but it is protecting your eyesight. It's protecting from giving you cancer. It's protecting you from disrupting your circadian rhythms, and that's the goal.
Okay.
So those
amazing.
three things. So sunrise, sun breaks through the day, and making your nights dark, and your health will start to change incredibly much. And the funny thing is, you didn't hear me mention anything about sleep, exercise, or diet, right? That is how powerful light is, and light is the foundation of our health.
Amazing.
My phone's getting low, so I'm sorry, I'm walking us to
That's okay. That's okay. And so it's funny that you say that. What I now added in, because we're saying all of this is free and available to us, and it really takes those little tiny shifts. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need even a supplement.
I don't
right?
like you working out in a gym with blue light. I used to do that. I work
Yes.
out outside now.
Yes. And you know what I added without, and this is my non-negotiable. That's one of my big goals. I drop down. So instead of checking my phone, which is now a big no-no, when I wake up, I drop down and I give myself 25 push-ups.
Oh, good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah. And you know, in the beginning was a little hard. I used to do competitive kickboxing, you know,
you go, girl.
many years ago. And 100 push-ups for me was no big deal. But as we get older and we don't do this every day, it's hard. But now, you know, it's been probably a couple of weeks, and I'm like, 25. I need to
that's awesome.
Bring it up.
The sun
so
will
all of this can be
you.
free, and it's honestly life-changing. So thank you for sharing that, Jackie.
Just think about our families nowadays. I mean, you know, if you have a husband or a spouse or kids, like, your life is very busy, right? Games and events and birthday parties and work and grocery store and doctor's appointments and this and that. And I'm like, I'm exhausted.
I know.
I don't want another thing to add to my plate or to make things frustrating, right?
Yeah.
And that's where, when I have changed my light life, I'm like, wow, I get a lot more time at home. Because it honestly is, when people start taking those 3 rules, they're going to sit down and be like, where in my schedule am I going to be able to schedule sunlight, a sunbreak?
Yeah.
But as you start to feel better, and as you start to see this work, you're going to desire more. You will get hooked. Light is a drug.
It is.
Okay? But it's the best natural drug you could ever put in your life.
I crave, like, honestly, I crave it. And like I was sharing with you, so I have 3 kids. So Matthew, the other day, I guess the sunrise, we could see it from front of the house.
Yes.
It's facing east. So the sunrise was coming up, and he could see a little bit of redness. So he came out, and then, he started to scream, Mommy, bring your camera. The most beautiful sunrise is happening.
Oh,
so they
that.
are already doing it. They already know how empowering and healing the sun really is. And Jackie, when is because so for everyone who's watching, Jackie has this amazing webinar slash workshop. I know she does them in person in Louisiana, but
Yeah.
also online. I took hers online, and honestly, our life and how we now view the sunrise and the light. This is coming from a person who is not a morning person, but as a business owner and a mom of 3 kids, I have no choice.
Yeah.
But I added, and again, not every day is perfect, but now the morning routine is my
Yeah.
non-negotiable, and as much as possible, I watch sunrise. So when are you running those workshops?
So I run a workshop locally here in Louisiana. I usually try to do one once a month at yoga studios, health
Okay.
clubs, doctors' offices, whoever will have me, I will go and talk about light, no problem.
Okay.
And then as far as my webinar, I actually have a recorded version now that's always available for people, that live wherever and they can't get to me. So it's a full 90-minute webinar. It's $47. So yeah, I'm not here to sell anything, but if you want more of this information, I do post on a regular basis, but the webinar, as you know, by taking it, will give you a really good foundational information. I teach you the why so that the how makes a lot of sense. And because the why is so strong, like I bring in statistics and information on our current chronic diseases that human beings are being afflicted with, you will understand why it's so important and why this is number one, even before sleep, exercise, and diet.
Yeah.
When you get your light life right, all those other things are actually going to get easier and fall into place a lot simpler because your circadian rhythms in your body will be running like a Ferrari instead of a Prius. So no offense to anybody that has a Prius.
No
offense. Just as an example.
No offense.
So the webinar is available through my Instagram account. You can go right to the link tree. You can go on there. Once you purchase it as well, I don't have it behind any type of paywall. Like once you have it and you can share it with your family and your friends. Like I just want this information to get out to everyone as fast and quickly as possible. And that's just my mission. And so that is available online. And then if you want to support me in something else that I am doing, so my big girl job is I work as a physical therapist on horses and dogs. And that's how I kind of, as I told you, got on this whole path. And so after changing my light for the positive a few years back, I started seeing that in our animal industry, our pet industry, we're doing the same thing. We have become zoo animals as humans, and we are also unfortunately keeping our dogs and horses, if you don't believe it, inside more and under artificial light and Wi-Fi as well. And so your home pets, your dogs, your cats, ferrets, birds, whatever, they're a lot more sensitive to their environment than we are, right? Because there's a prey and predator environment there. And so they're usually your canaries in the coal mine. If your dog gets cancer, you probably need to be keeping an eye on your own health because they're usually the signal and the red flag that something in the environment is not right, especially if they're getting cancer or really bad diseases at a younger age. There's something in the environment, your light environment, that's not going right. So you'll learn a lot of that in the webinar. And then I use that experience to realize, like, can't there be something besides putting your pets outside? That will always be my message no matter what.
Our Bruno, just so you know, is outside all day long.
Good. That's where they want to be, right? We don't have to tell wild animals how to be healthy, but us humans with our monkey brains, we need help. So I'm in the process of creating a red and infrared light therapy blanket for dogs and horses. So if you want more information on that, I already have an Instagram and Facebook page under Equisol, EQUISOL. We'll be launching with the dog blankets first within the next 3 months. And then horse blankets, hopefully 6 to 12 months after that. So you can go on there, you can put in your email to keep, we'll send you updates and all that kind of stuff. And you can check that out. I've got information that will be coming up on red light therapy, what it is, why it's helpful for your animals, but you can always translate that over to your human health because we're all mammals, right? Even though we don't have fur. So I do have that going on, and you can find me on my page and ask any questions you'd like.
And I'm so proud of you because you're really pushing that mission and making it available to so many, including the animals that we know they need help. So, as your friend, your coach, I'm just so incredibly proud. You're doing it, following your heart, right? Because this is really about living that purpose, following your heart and making impact in the world for the better. So your light message, how it's healing and it's preventative. And it really starts with that morning and making those small, tiny adjustments and that are
Yes.
free and available, because that's where that impact, and I would say sustainability and the long term, that's when it takes place. Because if something is too costly or hard to
Yeah.
do, it's hard to implement, or it's not sustainable long term. So everything you teach is always through the mind of, leading with your heart. How can you help? How can that be accessible to so many? And also creating that impact, because the more of us understand how
Yeah.
easy this preventative care and this holistic care can be, and it starts with us and making just a little bit teeny choices,
Yes.
has huge impact on everything in our
Yep.
life, right?
Well, we're all connected by
Yeah.
light, right? We have an electromagnetic field that expands 6 feet
Yeah.
from our heart. So we are all connected. And the more of us that finally get back to nature and see,
Yeah.
you will think stronger and better. You will feel
Yeah.
stronger and better. You will speak stronger and better. All of those things will just improve, which means we improve the collective of all of us connected.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel so strongly about this message, because I truly believe this is the way that we heal, unite,
Yeah.
and actually progress forward through what is
Yes.
considered that normal out there right now.
Yes,
So
I
we are
get
going to
chills
do
when you
better.
said that. Yeah,
Yes.
it is, because we are all connected, and we all can better just by sharing what we know,
Yeah.
and yeah, inspiring others to do it. And I'm so proud of you, right? Like, even taking your health in your own hands and healing your own Lyme disease, and now creating this amazing product to heal others, including animals. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you, Jackie.
Well, thank you so much. It's really my, this where I share the message with the humans is really just my, like, I call it my love affair. It's my little affair to just share with the human animals, and try to start that message growing with the rest of us quantum practitioners. I have tons to refer people to if you need one-on-one personal health. On the quantum side, it's definitely what I would recommend from now on too. And then, yeah, spreading it to the animals. But to be honest, even with my animal products and sharing with animal owners, it's a twofold desire. Like, I hope to be, as I share information on why indoor lifestyle is inflammatory to our four-legged partners, I hope that the human goes, oh, wait a minute, I'm an animal too, and I stay inside all the time. Maybe I should be doing something about this. So I definitely have a sly, sneaky way of trying to get this message through to all of the mammals on this planet.
I love it. No, I love it. And it's such a powerful message, but so important as well. And easy message to implement, easy habit, right?
Yeah.
So thank you very much again for joining me today. Thank you so much for spreading your light and your knowledge with everyone. And please, everyone, please take those 3 tips that Jackie shared around introducing more light. And if you haven't, I highly recommend taking Jackie's webinar. It's online. You have access forever. And for our family of 5, it was really game changing and such easy things to implement into our life for bettering our health as a whole family. So thank you for that. And for those with animals, follow Jackie's new business, because more will be coming on that. And I wish you so much more success. And I'll see you very soon, Jackie. And again, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And all I can ask is to just try to spread the message as best as you can. Spread the light. Thank you, Isabella, so much. I'll be seeing you soon.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And bye, everyone. Thank you again for coming. Bye.